Now we have a secret.
Wait a second, just
We-
a second. Yeah, I know.
we
I
have a
guess,
secret,
I guess,
but
I guess.
we'll keep it a moment.
I guess.
We'll keep it a
I
moment.
see the roots of it. And it will be chaired by 2 or 3 experienced people, 2 from the industry, and 1 me, and from the university. But now, back
Yeah.
to Luke.
Yeah, so today is a day,
Yes?
and we know what is the day, but we'll keep it secret for a moment.
Okay.
For a moment. And maybe 2 of your students will introduce a little bit the topic,
Okay.
and to get gradually to the
Okay.
point. Okay?
Okay, very good.
Very good. Very
As
good.
long as it doesn't have an outline.
Yeah.
Okay. So I took upon myself to speak on the work of Moshe too, but then I kind of got panicked, so I switched to on a small fraction of the work of Moshe too, and I'm not sure even that I took the most important things, but I guess you will get some picture of the work of Moshe too. So Moshe started. Moshe started his career. He did his MSc, master degree in Weizmann Institute in 1970. I think, according to his website, this is his first paper. And of course, you cannot understand. This is in Hebrew, and the title is Magnetohydrodynamics and Ferromagnetics. And then this is another paper from his master's degree, reflection at the boundary between glass and polaric liquid crystals. This is his work in his PhD. This is from his work, propagation of finite beam through random medium. And here, a surprise. I don't think that even people who knows Moshe very well knows that he has publication in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology, and I can prove that. Here you see, he's there. But if you look very carefully, there is another tool over there, and yes, this is a joint work by the 2 couple. Highly cited. And there is another one. And then he started his postdoc in Stanford. And he did this very simple experiment, very simple. It has, the system had a laser, then this, a fiber, a recirculating loop, a detector, and then RF spectrum analyzer. And the RF spectrum analyzer showed this weird spectra, and Moshe wasn't very happy about it. So he decided that someone needs to explain this. So he did some calculations. He decided that he needs to calculate the covariance of the output of the detector. So some easy calculations, and some more calculations, and some more calculation, and voila, okay, you have the explanation, and apparently the source is the phase noise of this laser, and this led to one paper, and another paper, and another paper, and another paper, and another paper about phase noise, actually, this is authored by Udi Shafir, who is also here in the audience. And we advanced to 1990. This is the era of polarization started, and there were many papers about polarization and polarization mode dispersion, and PMD and PDL, many of these papers. And, okay, there are many papers. And we advanced a little bit more. So, okay, we made quite a jump forward because I don't have time to talk about everything. This is the era of brilliant sensing. So again, many papers about brilliant sensing, and one of the highlights is fast brilliant sensing, in which, look at this beautiful experiment of detection of fluctual waves in beams, and the beautiful results. This is really beautiful. And again, we are going fast out. This is another integral part of Moshe's work. He's traveling. And here are some pictures from former OFS. This is from Bilbao. Oh, Moshe, you help me, because I don't know. Where is, which one is that? Long time ago. Okay. And this, yeah. From Rouge.
I was supposed to be the poet.
This one, I don't know. Yes. Okay. Pope again. Yes. And this? This is from last night, yes. Okay, and okay, so more recent work. So recently he has been involved in together with Professor Alan Wilner at this very highly cited work of angular momentum communication. But he also was busy about detection of in UAVs, a lot of work in this, and you know, many of us, we do experiments in the lab, but it's a completely something else to do it. Really something that works in the field. This is a graph taken from a real flight, and about 2020. Okay, I don't know, but I'm sure it's not going to be this.
No, you're not done yet. You're not done yet.
Explain why do we do this?
No, not yet. I just want to add something on a more personal note. So it's good there are not too many people here. As many of you know, I'm also a student of Moshe, and what I'm about to say reflects my own experience and feelings, but I suspect that many other students, former and present of Moshe, will relate to what I'm about to say. I do not know exactly how many research students you had. I guessed over 100, so you say 60, so within 3 dB I was on the mark. We have at least 6 students in this audience, and at least 4 are faculty members in Israel today, as far as I know, and 2 on the stage. So Moshe was my master thesis advisor between 1996 and 99, which means almost 20 years ago. So formally, I'm no longer a student of Moshe, but in my view, this is not the case. I consider myself a student of Moshe for life, and he is my mentor for life. We speak of academic fathers and academic sons, and many times I think this is an exaggerated term, but come to think of it, you taught me to speak, read, and write, at least in the academic sense, and this is a major responsibility. And beyond that, you installed in me the desire to do research and the standards on how this is supposed to be done. And I still remember, I believe you also remember, these Fridays mornings at your home in Tel Aviv, revising the JQE paper about thermal chirp for the millionth time with your grandkids crawling over the floor. These were, by the way, real grandkids, not academic grandkids, fortunately. And I guess these grandkids are now in their 20s, so time goes by. And I'm also, later I did my PhD with Avishai, which means I am your son and grandson simultaneously in academia, but it's a small country, so these things can happen. You also taught me that C is the speed of light in darkness, and that intuition is integral over knowledge, and that one man's noise is another man's signal, and that engineering means controlling nature's degrees of freedom. Not only me, now all my students know that, and everyone who ever took an optics class in Bar Ilan knows that. And so the tradition continues. Your impact on anyone who ever learned from you is lasting. To this day, when I'm facing academic dilemmas, I'm thinking, okay, what Moshe would do and what Moshe would say. And if I'm not sure, I just call you and ask you what you would do or say. And also, it's fair to claim that almost anyone in Israel who's doing fiber sensing is in one way or another related to you. And you established your own school of Moshe Tur for fiber sensing, which we all proudly belong to. So, thank you, my dear professor. Now that I have students of my own also in this room, I can just hope that I can pay forward to them at least some of what I received from you. So thank you.
Okay, so we'll still keep the surprise. You had some credit from your students. I think these are not the only people who want to give you credit. So we'll offer you this piece of glass. See, it's a piece of glass. And please read what is written on this piece of glass.
Lifetime Achievement Award presented by the International Optical Fiber Sensor Community.
Click.
To me, in recognition of outstanding contribution delivered the 26th September 2018 during OFS 26 in Lausanne, and this is very day my 70th birthday. So it's a birthday present. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, okay, so, you know, it's not especially nice looking. Huh? It's a piece of glass.
But it has a structure.
It has a structure, yeah, so you see, you observed. Huh? And you know that we can make something very nice from, I would say, a very common piece of glass, maybe called optical fiber. We can make fantastic things. And here, maybe we'll make an experiment together, okay? So I will ask one of my students to bring a screen, and come. So you can see on the camera, we'll put this side.
I see myself.
Yes,
That's me.
yes, that's you. That's you with OFS. This is plain ray optics. And this is simply acoustic. So you know, you could take the bottom of a glass bottle and you see this shape, or even when you see, I don't know, a swimming pool, you can see this shape on the floor. And here we have a group at EPFL. We have a group at EPFL that is able to shape properly to make it take ages. So days of calculation to give 70 years exactly to shape this glass, and it gives this image by acoustic. So it's very small. That's a very unique.
No chromatic aberration.
No,
Aberration.
Nothing. This is plain ray optics.
Well, very, very nice. I appreciate it very, very much. Well, it is a surprise. Well, it is a very pleasant surprise. You know, if somebody manages to write papers and to publish papers, especially many papers, because of the students, their hard work, their ideas, we as teachers should spend our time trying to sharpen not their mind, but their habits, how to write, not how to read. I didn't teach Avi how to read, maybe help him in writing. So thank you for this community. I think I'm here from many, many, many years in this conference, even in the technical program committee for maybe people say too many years. I hope to continue to some extent. In Tel Aviv University, after retirement, you can still work if you can work. And I hope to work and to stop before somebody tell me to do that. Thank you very, very much. Keep enjoying the conference. Come to the industrial session. And see you later. Thank you very, very much. Hello, everybody. As many of you know, I was honored on Wednesday afternoon with a lifetime award of dealing with optical fiber sensors. I just want to say a few words about that. I did my postdoc at Stanford University at 81 to 83, and I was very honored, privileged, whatever adjective you want to use, to be under the supervision of the late Professor Shaw. And my students, professors now, mentioned on Wednesday evening some thanks to me for what I gave them. A lot of what I gave them, I had received from the late Professor Shaw. Another supervisor of mine in the postdoc or host was the Professor Joe Goodman, and he's not in optical fiber sensors, although at that time he collaborated a little bit, and I owe him a lot. Now, this community started, I remember the first electronic cast company promising us huge markets, which didn't happen in the beginning. Then the gyro, the most complex sensor, emerged as a very successful device. And then, as Professor Brian Kalshaw said a few years ago, fiber optic sensing has come of age. And distributed sensing is everywhere. And many other sensors, current sensors. Not every sensor that you heard about in these conferences really found its place in the market. But we keep trying. I was asking what we are going to see in OFS 36. I'm still waiting for interesting answers. So I welcome all the young people, medium-age people, no old people in the audience. And I thank everybody for all collaborations. Of course, I owe most, if not all, to my students and naturally to my family. And in fact, Luke has caught me at surprise on Wednesday, and my mind was focused, oh, my wife is not here. How can I explain to her what was happening? But she was here, she is not here now. But I do thank her and the children and everybody. Now, this conference has gone in a very smooth way, and this is thanks mainly and solely to one person, Professor Luke Tevna. And really, no. He deserves a few more rounds of applause. He has thought of every little detail, not only thought about every detail, but in a timely way, not after the fact. And really, as I said several times, I'm a co-chair, but I said CO is care of. I was helping Luke, who did a wonderful job, invested a lot of time, all of his energy and more, and he deserves for this another round of applause. I hope you enjoyed the venue, you enjoyed the contents, people were happy about that. And I wish to see you all in the next OFS meeting in Alexandria, and keep on the good work. Thank you very much.
Colleagues, friends, as you all know by now, this is a very special conference. It'd be hard to think of one which was more international, more interdisciplinary, or perhaps most important of all, directed at solving so many of the important problems in the world today. I always enjoy it very much because when you're at OFS, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter if you're a student or a professor, all that matters is that you have good ideas and you want to put them to good use. If there are two people in this room who personify this more clearly than anybody else, they are the ones standing next to me. I must say, Moshe, it was unusual to hear you being quite as modest as you just were, because I know you played a large part in this conference too. But colleagues, Moshe Tur and of course Luc Thevenaz, they've given us a wonderful conference. Please join with me in a final round of applause.